Hello there, and welcome to another video. Today we're going to be watching YoYo808. Retail is the worst job. So I work in retail, or I did, I guess, like my first job. So I'm going to see if this is accurate, honestly. I think retail, bro, I have to say this, by the way. When you're starting out, like if you're like 15, 16, and you're getting for your first job, but it's like having a Pokemon, when you're starting Pokemon for the first time, right? You get three choices. You either get retail, restaurant, or like waiters, staff, or whatever, restaurant, and the other one is what's the other one? Damn, I don't know. I don't remember what the other one was. But there's three choices you can get as a teenager, right? Oh, like lifeguard, like active stuff like that, lifeguards, you know, salesperson, something like that. So like retail, uh, restaurant, and like sales, kind of sales. Once you get into one of those, you're locked out of any other option, bro. I tried applying to like Chipotle and shit, and I'm just locked out of it. Like my first job, I'm locked out of I'm locked out of like the restaurant work, bro. It can't happen. You can get into the sales if you work in retail, but it's kind of tough. But you know what I mean. Anyway, I digress, and let's get this video started.
This story is about how I got fired from my first ever job. And it set the precedent for the rest of my life because I have literally been fired from every job I have ever worked. It's not that I'm a bad employee. It's just that sometimes I really don't be locked in. The thing is, the way my brain works is something either 100% has my attention or it doesn't have it at all. Like I'm either putting your fries in the bag with maximum efficiency or doing this.
How's my form? How's my form, bro? Shoot, I failed. Okay.
Okay. Interesting. Let's go. So.
What I'm saying is I either have really good days or really, really not good days. And you can't have bad days when you're working minimum wage because I don't know what it is with corporations, but it seems like the less they pay you, the more they expect from you. Like a cop could literally drop the hard ER and Swiss cheese the wrong suspect and get put on administrative leave. A TV show writer could literally have a 7-episode docuseries of him frosting underage cupcakes, if you will, and he would still be able to get a job. But let a cashier scan someone's groceries and not smile the whole time. That's the job right there. They're fired. Like if a Chick-fil-A manager catches their minimum wage employee not saying my pleasure, they are getting hit with a freaking hollow purple, bro. They're done. I say all of that to say I was a great employee. I just made a couple of mistakes. And with minimum wage jobs, that's all it takes to get fired.
I don't know. I can't speak from experience. I've never been fired. I didn't even quit, actually. Like my job just completely shut down. Like all of them gone. So I was forced to get a new job. I wasn't really fired. I was more like, you know what I mean. Anyway, I digress. Bro, the cat in the background. I don't fuck with cats. I'm not gonna lie to you. Actually, that's not true. I like
Now,
cats.
I've told this story before, but those
scratchy.
videos were mad old and rushed, and I just feel like I'm a better storyteller / animator now. And there's a lot of details that I left out for the sake of posting weekly. So I'm gonna spin back on this topic and give you a complete start to finish video of how this story actually went down. Now, I grew up with a smart mother, summa cum laude or whatever the fuck, and she has a master's degree in whatever the fuck. But she's smart, okay? She's an accountant, but not a regular accountant. She's like a higher up. She has authority, you know? Like people on her level play golf and have sugar babies. That's the tier of success that my mother is in. And she got there by being smart. So growing up, my mom made it abundantly clear how important school and college was. And she proved it, I ain't gonna lie, because I tested the fuck out of her. See, I was an accident. My mom was 21 in college with goals and aspirations, and then my dumb ass popped up. Not only did I pop up, but I was born a month early. She was in labor for like 24 hours, and I was a C-section. And I just had a fat head, bro. I was just an L altogether, bro. If my son does to my future wife what I did to my mom, I might take him and Euro step him into the trash can, bro. I might hit a goddamn windmill dunk into that bitch. I was the literal definition of an inconvenience. My mom deadass had to drop out of college to take care of me, but you know what she did right after? She went back to college, got her master's, and graduated at the top of her class as a single mother of 4 with a daughter who had heart disease, bro. She is the literal definition of a strong, independent black woman. Like, me and my mom have had our beefs in the past, but her resolve is unwavering, and I genuinely aspire to have a fraction of the work ethic that she has. I'm telling you all this to illustrate, once again, how important college is to my mother and how much of her success story I witnessed firsthand. So growing up, in my head, with the mother that I had, I knew I was going to college. And to be honest, the thought of going excited me. If you asked child me what he thought he was going to be doing in the future, it was definitely going to be some type of office job. I wanted to be a teacher until I realized they get paid in pennies. I wanted to be a graphic designer, but then I realized they get paid in Instagram shout outs. But then I finally decided what I wanted to be, and it was an architect, which made sense because, you know, I grew up drawing and the concept of designing buildings seemed interesting to me. And shoot, I'd get to do something that involves math just like my mother. So I was headed into my senior year of high school with a genuine idea of what I wanted to do, and it was all looking good until I realized math is actually ass, bro. Like, my brain genuinely cannot understand it.
I'm not bad at
9.
I feel like I'm what? Okay. I feel like I'm not that bad at math. I'm pretty decent. I think I'm pretty decent. I think so. I'm not too bad.
4. 6 and 6 is 24.
1.
Did you just say 20?
Bro, the United States dodged a bullet when I decided to not be an architect, bro. If I designed a building with my knowledge of math, it would be cooked. I'd mess around and design a building with the structural integrity of a card house. You wouldn't even need to hijack a plane to knock my joint down. A Toyota Camry would have been more than enough. Anyways, so after struggling in math, it was hard for me because I didn't want to disappoint my extremely accomplished mom, but that's just what ended up happening. I couldn't get it. I could not understand what I wanted to do with my life. And eventually it led to me not wanting to go to college. And I was just in this weird limbo of not knowing what I wanted to do. That was until I found a channel by the name of Young Don the Sauce Guy. I saw him making animations and I found them funny. Now, it just started with me just watching, bro, but one day he decided to drop a Q&A, and he stated the reason that he even started YouTube was because he saw another YouTuber by the name of The Odd Ones Out making animations. And he thought to himself,
I watch both of them.
I could do that. And that made me go, I could do that. So I grabbed my mouse, my old laptop, and I realized I can't do that. Animation is hard, specifically because I didn't have a drawing tablet and my laptop crashed more than a YN with an infinity stone and a whippet addiction. But I was too broke to do anything to change it. I needed bread. So the search for a job commenced. I found myself working at a local grocery store. But little did they know, when they decided to hire this wide-eyed, hard-working, ambitious animator, they would have hired the most incredible no.
Game of Thrones
Anyway,
King's Road
I'm not
is now
paying for
available
YouTube
for
Premium,
both
bro.
PC
It's
and
not
mobile
happening.
with Google
Never.
Play Games.
Competent, the most incompetent person to ever wear one of their uniforms. And the first person to find this information out was my manager, La Rosa. Now, I could go on a whole tangent explaining just how disrespectful, vicious, and just straight up evil this woman was, but I don't need to. I only need 3 words to convey her personality, and I promise you'll get it. Short, bitter, and old. Anyone who has dealt with someone who has those 3 traits already knows the type of person La Rosa was, bro. And you know just how toxic it can get. But if you're thinking to yourself, man, he tweaking like shit, man. He wasn't even that bad for 1. You have a nuclear family and a trust fund. Stop talking like that. 2, I'm gonna add another trait up there just to seal the deal. Racist, bro. La Rosa was racist as hell. Openly, by the way. One of my early impressions of her was this. So when I decided to get a job to pursue YouTube, once again, I knew I wasn't going to college. And obviously, my mother did not approve. So I got kicked out, and it was a whole thing. I can make a video about that by itself. But when I got kicked out, I ended up moving in with a high school friend of mine, Jake. Him and his family were all pitching in to get a new apartment, and he told his mom about my situation. And if I paid rent, they would let me stay with them. So it was me, Jake, his mom, his sister, and his younger brother. And during that time, I actually ended up putting Jake on to the grocery store that I worked at. He got an interview, he got hired, and we both ended up working together. Fast forward, me and Jake get sick, and because of that, we had to call off. So Jake goes first, he calls, and this is hear exactly how the calls went. Hey, La Rosa, this is Jake. What's up, Jake? Yeah, I got sick. I need to call off. Oh, no, are you okay? Yeah, I'll be fine. I just don't want to get anyone sick. Okay, sounds good. Thanks for letting me know. Hope you feel better, okay? Of course. Bye. I then take the phone. Hey, La Rosa, this is Yo-Yo. Hey, Yo-Yo. Yeah, I just got sick and I need to call in. It's 2 p.m. Why would you wait until now to call? Yeah, I'll be fine. Wait, what? You can't just call off right before a shift. I'm sorry, it snuck up on me. I didn't know I was sick. You know there's gonna be a write-up, right? Yes. All right. Now, me and Jake both had a 5 p.m. shift that day, and we both called off 3 hours early. But La Rosa specifically chose to mess with me, and I deadass ended up getting a write-up over that. And guess who didn't? Jake. And it was then that I knew that.
Bro, I think I've only been written up. I've been written up once, by the way. Because I remember we were closing, right? And this was like a year ago, 2 years ago, maybe. So this was like one of my older managers. She quit before I got But anyway, so we were closing. There was nothing to do. I was standing there, and I was like, I'm just gonna go home. Like, there's nothing to do. We're done. Job's over. Day's over. I'm leaving. I leave. The next day, I get called into the office, and I get written up over leaving 5 minutes early from my, 6-hour shift, okay? 7 hour shift, alright? Bro, she wrote me up because she had to close the store by herself. And I already cleaned up the front and everything, so all she had to do was lock the damn doors, and I got written up for that. That is crazy. Bro, from that day on, I did not fuck with that manager, bro. Like, I avoided her as much as I could, bro. Like, it's whatever, bro. Yo, so dumb.
La Rosa was not finna be an ally, bro. She was Hispanic along with Jake and his family.
Oh, and my manager was black too. She was a black woman. She was maybe 30, not that older than me. And she wrote me up over leaving 5 minutes early because she had to close the fucking doors by herself. What the fuck?
She was not discreet in how differently she tolerated us, bro. Some of my Hispanic coworkers could literally get away with murder. So that was lame. But the thing that I really didn't like about her was that she was such a gaslighter, bro. She would dead yell at me about things, like forehead vein yelling. The day would end, I'd go to work the next day and she'd act like nothing happened. And that's something that you can ignore.
I had a boss like that too. Yeah, that was my general manager. Or no, not the general. Was it? No. Yeah, it was. Yeah, no, I think it was. She was a GM. Yeah. But she was cool though. When she yelled at you though, it wasn't anything crazy. But she would complain a lot. But she was really fun to work with. That's the crazy part about it.
But she would even take it a step further. If she could tell that I was still upset about her with what she said the day before, she'd be like, "Oh, you don't like me, bitch. I hate you." She'd say, yo, you know I like you. You're a great employee. And then yell at me again. And you think, damn, yo, you get yelled at a lot. You got to be doing something wrong. No. Bro, there was this one time I was working the register and this lady came into my 15 items or less register with a cart that did not have 15 items or less. But you know, me being the stand-up guy that I am, I decided, all right, I'll scan her items. So I look at her. Good evening, ma'am. How's it going? Nothing. All right. So I get to scanning it.
Bro, okay, I'm sorry for pausing too much. But it's so awkward checking people out and you say, how you doing? Like, how you doing today and shit? And there's no response, bro. In my head, it's like, all right, fuck me then. I'm just not going to say anything to you. So I just stare at them the whole time while they're paying and I just watch them fucking leave. I don't say a fucking word. And then they want to say, have a nice day. And I'm like, yeah, go fuck yourself. That's what I really want to say. Bro, it's so awkward, bro.
And now since this register is made for 15 items or less, it only had one bagging station as opposed to the 2 that all the other ones had. And this lazy ass, fat ass, ugly ass, I said, hey, yo, never mind. I ain't even got to do all that. But this lady is not helping me bag at all. And I had to scan all of her stuff and then bag. But it was taking a little while because I had to do one bag at a time. And she is not hiding the fact that she is waiting impatiently. But what does she want me to do? She also had this fat stack of of like steaks that she wanted me to bag individually so they're not all bagged together. So I'm doing that, and it's taking me a while, but eventually she goes and ends up helping me bag. And I swear to you, when she did that, I was about to add her to the list of things that was going in the bag that day. But we finished bagging, and I give her a receipt, and she goes on her way out the door, and I continue my day. And then I hear, bing bong.
No, my
Yo-yo to the manager's office. Yo-yo to the manager's office.
Another manager comes in, shuts off my register, and I head to the manager's office. And I'm just making my way down that hallway, and I could just
feel it, bro.
Feel the air get colder and colder as I made my way towards La Rosa's door. I look at her desk, and I just see nothing but malice, bitterness, and rage. Like, genuinely, bro, I felt like how Pito felt staring at Gone, knowing they was about to get their shit rocked. I walk in, close the door. Yo, what is wrong with you? What? What do you mean? Do I need to repeat myself? What is wrong with you?
Captain America Brave New World is streaming on Disney Plus May 28th.
Wait for it.
Not paying for it. Oh, that's it. Shit. Okay. Wow. Fuck me then. Bro can't even finish a video. All right, bro. Well, thank you for watching. If he does post, did he even post the second one? Like, goddamn, bro. Like, finish
being
the fucking
introverted
video.
is not okay.
Like, holy, bro. I don't even know where it is. Nigga didn't even finish the video. Alright, bro. Well, thank you for watching. This is YoYo808. Good video. Have a nice night. Have a nice day. Have a nice evening. Goodbye.